All right, positive energy all the time. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Now, as you all know, we got the situation going on with the Haitians, the Haitian refugee situation. We got that going on, we got that popping off. We got people pretty upset about that, right? Some of your pro black people, they feel like we should have compassion. And it's a little weird. We're going to talk about it. Come on in, rep your city, rep your city. Everybody on Facebook, I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, I am representing Chicago, Illinois. My other Facebook, too. We got Fresno in the building. Salute, salute, Rasta man. Let's get it going. FBA all day, you know what it is. Foundation of Black Americans. Doing what we do, pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, pushing the line. You know the deal. I'm sitting drinking my juice and went down the wrong pipe. But yeah, we out here pushing the line. You ever have it go down the wrong pipe and then trying to drink something and then cough again? Oh, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. I'm glad I didn't cough again while I was trying to wash that down. Oh, man. That ends up being a disaster. Oh, yeah, I'm drinking my nitric oxide. Trying to stay hydrated. This is nitric oxide with ginger in it. Trying to stay hydrated, trying to keep my circulation up. Oh, yeah, because I'm trying to drink out of glass, and I drink a lot. So I got some glasses, but they're kind of small. And I don't be wanting to constantly. Plus, if I drink it down so much and I don't want any more, I could just put it in the refrigerator. So that's why I prefer a mason jar to drink. Because I can keep it refrigerated. I can keep the top on it to keep it fresh. So I prefer this instead of a glass. You know, I can feel it. Sometime when it get low, I could just add some more nitric oxide, some more water, maybe squeeze some lime in it. I can continue. Keep it cold, keep it fresh. You know what I mean? Yeah, with the straw. I got like metal straws. So I got stainless steel straws, but yeah, I got stainless steel straws. But I want to talk about this situation. I want to be talking about immigration and all that stuff a lot. I'm not pushing hate, though. No, I'm not pushing hate. Okay. So none of my conversations are hateful. None of my conversations is anti Africans, anti Haitians, anti Jamaicans, but they are some type of conversation for the diaspora. The diaspora don't really, I just don't like how we functioning as far as the diaspora. I definitely feel like since, especially the 80s to now, I feel like black immigration has been good for black foreigners and horrible for foundational black Americans. I think black immigration has been detrimental to us. It hasn't been necessarily beneficial to us. And I feel like in this American society, I feel like black immigrants are in the way. I think black immigrants come from a place and they came into a country and they don't understand the dynamics of this country. And by them not linking with us, they are they have become a problem. They don't function on basically black and white. And they have come into a black and white country. And they're not standing black. So now they're not white and they're not with us. So they're causing us serious problems. They're causing us problems with elections. They're causing us problems with the census. We got different brothers and sisters running for office that aren't really black Americans. So they don't really have our best interest. They vote as everything they do is as immigrants, right? So they got the black face, but they're not on our side, really. So now we got to look like the bad guy and go find out who is who so we can weed them out. Because there's nothing worse with somebody that looks like us that ain't us and we voting, but they don't got our best interests. And at the end of the day, we can't do all that brotherly love shit. Like, we got to look out for our best interests. We've been in this country too long to let somebody come from another country and disrupt our political strategy and how we function. So they either got to get in or get out, basically. So black immigrants are detrimental to our political fight, to our social fight, and all of that. Who knew it would be a disaster like that? I had no idea. I wasn't paying no attention. But now we got to look up people's, where are they from? Because we start noticing, like, we had these black politicians, but they was like weird. They wasn't pushing none of our policies. So we're like, who, so what's going on with the Democrats? And then when we get a microphone glass, we look, we say, oh, these ain't black Americans. Oh. So they got the black face, but they're not us. On a serious note, the diaspora really need a professional panel discussion so everyone could really get they straight. Kind of, but as black Americans, we don't want to do no panel discussion. We want them to get out, G-Well. It ain't nothing to discuss. We prefer black from other places go and discuss their homeland. I don't really feel like I want to discuss what's going on in the United States with no Caribbeans or no Africans. I don't see how that would be a worthwhile discussion. To me, it's a totally detrimental for 50 million Black Americans to have a Black person represent us that only got a million people in the country, right? So let's say it's some kind of African, he got a million, 2 million people, but he looks like us, so he looks like he's representing foundational Black America, but we're 50 million. So he's not making the decision for the 50 million. He's making the decision maybe for the 1 or 2 million. But we're losing because we're 50 million and we don't have our representative. We feel like Black immigrants, you don't have big enough numbers to represent us. If you're supposed to go by vote and the majority of the vote, so this cause plan, because they never let us know they're not Black Americans. Hey, Black Americans, am I lying? Like, we be thinking these people are foundational Black Americans. Right? They talk like us, they act like us, they kind of a lot of times hide their identity. Are we thinking, oh, this is a Black American? The whole time, it's not. So now we constantly coming up on the short end of the stick, like what's going on? Then we look into these politicians and none of them is us. So you got to ask yourself, what makes a person come over here from Africa somewhere and want to run for our politics? That is suspicious to me. Why you come from some other country and want to be involved with American politics? Like, why you come from another country, you want to be the mayor of New York? Like, what's up with these immigrants coming here and want to have political power without no real boots or no real investment into the country? They brand new. Like, they got no blood in the soil. They're not fighting no wars or nothing. So we supposed to go to all the wars and let somebody that didn't go in no war come over here from Africa or Caribbean or somewhere and make decisions and send veterans and send people that been here fighting for years? No, that can't go like that. That's got to stop immediately. Because first, you're a fake ass politician. What are you talking about? You are not American like that. You are brand new. Like that's crazy. They're not gonna let me go to Nigeria and be no nothing. Facts. They're not gonna let me go to the Caribbean and be no politician. Nowhere in Africa would they let me run the country or be no politician. That's another thing. They doing something in one place that's not allowed where they at. Show me a Black American president or anybody in any office in Africa. Show me one. Show me a Black American in office in Jamaica. Show me one. Show me one Black American politician in anywhere in the Caribbean or anywhere in Africa. Show me one. They wouldn't have it. They wouldn't have it. Yeah, they gotta have to change some laws. They gotta change some laws. These people cannot be running for politicians. If you don't got no generations over here, like that guy is not qualified to be no mayor of no biggest city, New York. Like seriously, that's a travesty. How is he a mayor of New York? He's got no grandchildren here. He's got no great grandmother been here, no great grandfather, nothing. How is he the mayor of New York? He has no blood in the soil. There's no family member spent any time in any military service. Trump didn't go to the military, but his daddy was American. His family been here. We're letting people that basically haven't been here coming in this country making decisions. Hey, man, That got to stop. They need to change some laws. If you ain't so many generations in this country, you cannot be no politician. Period. You can't be no damn politician like that. Why we letting people do stuff over here when we can't do in their country? Somebody tell me. Make it make some sense. Just make it make a little sense. And us, we're not paying no attention. So we look up year after year, they've been having these insurgents in there. We didn't have no idea. A lot of these people, we had no idea they wasn't Black Americans. We had no idea. They should soon. They need to get him out of office. He should not be no mayor of no New York. No kind of way. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It's an invasion, to be honest with you. It's an invasion. It's a military. This really deserves military action. But you ain't heard from me. This is an invasion. In many ways. We won't even talk about Israel with all the people they got in the government that is voting in favor of Israel. See, it's going too far. You know, they turning America into like a secret third world country. I'll be honest with you. You know, everybody, if you're looking for a better life, you can't come and push no American out of the way so you can have a better life. How you let somebody come and push Americans out the way so they can have a better life? Well, what about the American whose job they taking? And then some of these immigrants is like, we got to come do the jobs because you can't do it. Okay, get him the hell out. Who told you that? So then when they get the jobs, they start pretending like they were the only ones qualified to get the job. Like we haven't been doing fine on our own. Like we've been doing fine without you. If you could do such a great job, why you didn't do it at home? Why you didn't do it in Africa? Why you didn't do it in Haiti? Why you didn't do it wherever you're from? If you could do such a great job, why you didn't do it? Why Madani don't do a good job wherever the Madanis is from? Why he can't do a good job wherever him and his daddy them from? Why he can't do a good job there? I'm just asking. And so then we got these lame Pan-Africans. That's who I'm really smashing right now. I don't think I'll talk about this long, but I got to touch on Pan-Africans. We got brothers over here been talking to Pan-African nonsense a long time. Some of them act like they won't smoke. It'll get ugly. So they over here Pan-African this, Pan-African that, Pan-African this. They never go to Africa. There's going to have to be some changes in the United States. How long you could keep talking about Pan-Africa, Africa, Africa, but you don't never go? You're the prince of Pan-Africanism, but it take you 30,000 years to open a school here where you took everybody money. What the hell do a school here got to do with Pan-Africanism? All these people scamming. And Africa ain't even Pan-African. Africa ain't African. Africa ain't even African. Look, the regions in Africa that are mostly non-Black are North Africa, parts of the Western Cape and South Africa, and certain Indian Ocean islands. So a whole bunch of North Africa ain't even Black Africa. Just let that sink in. So that whole spot where you can cross over and go north to those other countries, they controlling that whole spot. You know how much power that is? for people that's not Africans to be controlling the whole top of North Africa? But yet we got fools over here talking about Pan African. Pan Africanism is about Africans' responsibility. It's about uniting blacks who are disconnected from the homeland and educating them on their heritage. No, it's not. Pan Africanism is a bunch of fake people talking a bunch of bullshit and ain't standing on nothing. And why would I listen to you anyway on Pan Africanism? You speaking for Pan Africanism, you're really showing how fraudulent it is. The fact that you're the Pan African expert says a lot. Girl, bye. Pan Africanism ain't taught black people nothing. What have we learned from Pan Africanism? I've been listening to Pan Africanism since 1978. I was involved with people that was Pan African. Pan Africanism is panhandling Africanism. Pan Africanism has done absolutely nothing for nobody. There is no type of Pan African functions nowhere in Africa. There's no type of Pan African economical development. If the schools is teaching it, they're doing a horrible job. Our children don't know nothing about no Pan Africanism. Pan Africanism has panned out. It's a nothing. It's a zero. Y'all be hearing about Pan Africanism. What's the last thing you heard about Pan Africanism? Nothing. Nothing. You know why? Because they don't got no talking points. North Africa countries, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and Sudan. Though northern Sudan is heavily Arabized, Sudan overall remains diverse. Now, how you talk about Pan Africanism when Africa ain't even Pan African and non Africans is all over Africa? And Africa don't control none of their own natural resources, nothing like that. So, what is Pan African just to sit around and just talk, like the lady said? Right? It's just to sit around and talk. Well, this is in Africa and that is in Africa. Like U.S. history. You ever notice how lame U.S. history is? You ever know you don't learn nothing from U.S. history class? It never leads to no type of nothing. So you got U.S. history class, but Americans can't read up to par. They can't even read the American history class. They can't even read it. They need to have more reading classes. How you gonna have them reading something if they can't read? Make it make sense. You want your kids going to school reading something but can't read? Which would you rather have? Reading classes or class where you're reading something but can't read? Math classes where you don't know how to add. They're not really making sure you can do math. That's what's going on in America. They got you taking classes, but you can't read. What is they doing in there all day? Because they sure can't read. Go look it up. Look up the average American where they read. America is way behind in all classes on the world scale. We're not even in the top 7 countries in the world with education. We way down 15, 16 or something. Pan Pan-Africanism studies ain't gonna do nothing for no black American kids that gotta go get a job and shit like that. What they gonna do? Go and tell them, South Africa is this. Who gonna hire you on that? That's a whole nother video on having our children learn a bunch of stuff where they can't get no jobs. That's a whole nother video. Because America got our kids learning a bunch of stuff that don't teach them no skills and they can't get no job with that junk that they teaching in them schools. That's a whole nother video. When I think about my kid going to school and learning something beneficial, Pan-Africanism will never make the list. I'd rather have my kid have 2 math classes and 2 reading classes and science. I don't want my kids sitting there listening to no Pan-African foolishness. Because to be honest with you, history is trash too. You ain't gonna get no job because you knew who did something in 1492. Y'all ever got a job, a history job from knowing some history? I'm just asking. Has history ever been a qualification for y'all to get a good job? Because I'm 68 and had a lot of jobs. And one thing I didn't never have to know is no damn history. Okay? That's trash too. You need to know math, English, science, reading, history, no. Nobody has ever asked me on a job application who discovered America. Never, ever. Wasted knowledge. Tell me something was valuable from learning about Christopher Columbus. That was valuable in your life? That helped you make some money? That helped you be a good father or a good mother? No, it's trash. Trash information. Demographic. Populated primarily by Arab and Berber. Populations who are indigenous or historically settled in the region, possessing North Africa, possessing, that means conquer North Africa and Middle Eastern ancestral lineage, rather than sub-Saharan Black African heritage. Conquered. These are conquerors. Okay? These are invaders. Western Cape, South Africa region. The southwestern corner of South Africa, including Cape Town. Demographic features a majority of mixed race population, locally known as colored, alongside significant white and black African communities, meaning the region as a whole does not have a single black majority. In Africa, no single black majority. But yet we got Pan-Africans over here hollering and hooting, scamming, selling African trash, while Africa ain't even hardly Africa. Africa ain't even Africa. And the Pan-Africans over here, they never go to Africa. Imagine a man over here telling you China is great and China is wonderful, China is beautiful, and they never go to China. And they sit up and talk about China for 30 years and never leave. Don't teach nothing about where they at, right? Imagine a man somewhere. He don't teach nothing about getting no jobs where he at. He don't teach nothing about construction or labor or anything that can get you anything in this country. He's sitting around talking about Pan-African stuff that you can't do, he can't even do nothing with it. Unless he scam you and sell you some Pan-African movies of trinkets or some liquids or something. Can't even make money with that they sell. How much money you gonna make with Pan-Africanism? You can get on YouTube and talk and make some money. But it ain't nothing. Pan-Africanism has been a total trash. Seriously. The Chinese are prejudiced, I know. Look, Sovereign nations in North Africa, such as North Africa countries like Egypt, Morocco, and Algeria. You got dudes walking around pushing that they these big time Egyptians, but ain't a black person run nothing in Egypt. And then they big time Egyptian scholars and revolutionaries, but they missed the revolutionary part in taking back Egypt for the black man and black woman. They don't mention that. They just sit around talking some make believe nonsense, right? But that whole part, black people don't even control Africa. So how you Pan African when Africa ain't Pan African? I'm just trying to figure that out. How you Pan African? Africa not even Pan African. Does it make any sense, or is it just me? If it's me, tell me I'm tripping. Africa ain't Pan African. The whole north part of Africa ain't even Africans, and the rest of the Africans is tribal. Tribalism isn't Pan-Africanism. What good is Pan-Africanism? It's a trash concept. Make-believe. Hocus pocus. Trying to feel black, but not really doing nothing black. North African nation, governments in the northern region of the continent are led by predominantly Arabs. Egypt, led by an Arab-Egyptian majority and government leadership. Morocco, governed by a constitutional monarchy with the Arab-Berber leadership. Algeria, run by a government and population identified primarily as Arab and Berber. Tunisia, Libya, Sudan. Though Sudan has mixed demographic transition, its historical and political leadership structures heavily reflect Arabized population. What Pan-Africanism? Make it make some sense. Egypt is the largest military in Africa, featuring approximately 1.22 million total active reserve and paramilitary personnel. North African nations like Egypt, Algeria, and Morocco compose the largest overall military forces on the continent. None of it's black. Where they're deucing around with military, I'm some military, red, black, and green dude, and the biggest militaries in Africa ain't even black. Make some sense. Fraudulent scholarship, panhandling, Pan-Africanism, which has no legitimate benefits for our people. That everybody that's been in the Pan-Africanism back in the 70s, 80s, we all realized early it was a scam. It was going nowhere. We all knew it wasn't going nowhere. But some people then dug in so deep, they still pushing the scam. Pan-Africanism is straight trash. Won't benefit black people not one bit. It's just talk. Egypt. 1,220,000 total personnel. This in their military. 440,000 active, 300,000 paramilitary, 480,000 reserve, with a 9.4 billion defense budget. This is Arabs in Egypt. The Kemetic brothers, they don't talk about that. They act like that's not happening. Algeria, 610,000 total personnel, 325 active, 150,000 paramilitary, 135,000 reserve, with a 21.6 billion defense department. How many of these generals or these Pan-Africans ever teach any of this? When you see them talk some real military, they stunt like they military Pan-Africans. Morocco, 396,000 total active reserve and paramilitary personnel. So what do you mean Pan-African? Make it make some sense. You mean like Marcus Garvey with that fake military suit on? Don't look like he can run 2 blocks. Our people, man, need a reboot, and we need some real teachers out here. Because Pan Africanism is a dream and a scam. We need to be focusing on our reparations so that we can invest and take our money that was stolen from us so we can invest in our communities, invest in housing, invest in our schools from the money was stolen from us. I don't want to hear nothing from no fake military general that ain't fighting for reparations. If you ain't fighting for reparations, you ain't nobody. You ain't no leader. You ain't none of that. You bootleg. Because a real military leader, a real leadership, gonna make sure that people don't get cheated. Anybody sit back smiling and grinning and talking about a bunch of nonsense while their own people got cheated, ain't no type of nobody stands for nothing like that. Ain't standing on nothing. In these serious times like this, like these are serious times. We don't got no time for no fake nonsense conversations. Nobody want to hear that. I know a lot of knowledge about ancient Kemet and stuff like that, but you know what? It's hard for me to talk about that stuff with everything going on. It's too much serious stuff going on. I want to. I got a bunch of stuff lined up to talk about, but to me, it's like I just ain't feeling the conversation. It's like it's too much more serious stuff going on for me to be rapping about some old historical stuff. I want to do it. I got the channel already ready, but man, we in a crisis right now. I don't want to be talking about Osiris and all that right now. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm thinking about shutting the channel down and changing it. I ain't lying. I'm thinking about changing that channel to something else. I ain't lying because I ain't feeling it. I ain't lying. I ain't feeling the conversation. I was gonna do it, but we're in a battle right now for survival. You know, I got grandchildren. What they gonna do? How they gonna survive? What jobs gonna be for them? Are they gonna be totally dominated by immigrants that ain't even Americans? Are they gonna lose everything that our grandparents and great grandparents and great great grandparents fought for? We're gonna lose all of that? Are we sitting around talking about a bunch of nonsense? They done turned all the brothers into gossipers. So they want the money. So they just on there talking about anything to get views. Ain't no integrity like that. I'm cool with that for somebody who's on that. But now brothers that used to be talking positive stuff now, they turn to, TMZ. How you turn to a TMZ dude? On my soul. So I just had to get that off my chest. Because, Africa ain't no damn Pan African. It's time to focus. It's time for foundational Black Americans to focus on what we got going on over here. And anybody that don't want to focus on that and want to help us, they really got to be canceled right now. Because one thing about especially a lot of these immigrants, they are run back home. See, we don't got nowhere to go. You understand? A lot of people don't seem like they don't understand that. This is it for us. This is us. I mean, the trucking industry here been took over by Russians. The Russians run the trucking industry in the United States. They've been did that. And imagine a country that let an enemy country run the trucking. So you don't know what they got in their trucks. Imagine that. Imagine a country that got one of their main opposition, the Russians, controlling the trucking in their country. Let that sink in. Then the Chinese buy land all next to their farm, just selling the country down the drain. Selling the country down the drain. That's what's going on. And we Black Americans, we foundational Black Americans, we in here. So if we don't focus on our own situation, what you think gonna happen? If we don't rally our troops and focus on our security, our schools, our health, our children, what? We cannot be wasting no time on anything that don't have anything to do with foundational Black Americans and what we got to do. Like we really got to buckle down. Seriously. We going to have to start preparing our own politicians. That's just what it is. We're going to have to find people and run our own people from the rooter to the tutor. Yeah, we're going to have to run our people for president and mayor and governor. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now, I can't keep playing. We got to start prepping foundational Black American politicians. And if you ain't foundational Black American, no, we're not voting for you. Period. Nothing personal. But we don't want nobody to do nothing for us. We want to do for ourselves. We don't want no Black immigrant doing nothing for us. We don't want nobody that's got interests that could be conflict with our best interests, period. Because we done let a lot of people in that ain't us, and they didn't have our best interests, and we thought they was foundational Black Americans, and they wasn't. And they did not have our best interests. That's serious. So we need these young people, y'all got to go start running for office. See, I wish I had somebody tell me this when I was young, like, yeah, I would have ran for office. On my soul, I wish somebody would have told me that. I would have ran for office. We're going to have to run for office. We're going to have to get on the fire department. We're going to have to start driving these ambulances. We're going to have to work in these hospitals. We're going to have to be doctors, nurses, dentists, lawyers, judges. We're going to have to get these positions that control our life. I'm telling you, young people, y'all going to have to get these positions. We're going to have to get, brothers going to have to start construction company, even if you start small. Y'all going to have to go on YouTube and stuff and start making your own TV show and put it on YouTube. Yeah. Sit around. If you ain't got a lot of props, don't matter. Come to the house, put your makeup on, shoot it the best you can, edit it, and you look up, you're going to get better. Put it on YouTube. Episode 1. Life with Cammy. I don't care what you call it. So that you can grow, so that now we got our own movies. We got our own film. We got our own entertainment. I'd rather watch y'all. I'd rather watch y'all shoot a movie at your crib. I swear to God, than the shit to be on TV. And I bet y'all movies will be better. I bet you it'd be better. And monetize them and then take the money in and buy more props. Episode 1. Right here on YouTube. We don't need Fox. We don't need them. We got YouTube. Lights, camera, action. We have to do for self. I'm telling you, we're gonna have to do for self. We're gonna have to do for self, but we're gonna have to isolate. I ain't saying hate on no black immigrants, but I'm saying we gotta do for self. I ain't saying hate. I'm just saying that we cannot keep trusting somebody else to do what we need. You got to understand people going to do what's for their best interest. You can't hate them for that. You can't hate people for doing what's for their best interest. So therefore, you got to do what's for your best interest. Pan-Africans, a lot of times, listen, on everything, Pan-Africans don't even be voting. Pan-Africans be doing all this. Pan-Africans don't be doing no business and don't be doing no politics. Trust me, I'm telling you. Pan-Africans mostly talk. Real talk. This is what Pan-Africans be doing. Been around them my whole life. It's all talk and imagination. They don't open one business. They don't have no businesses or nothing. I'm telling you. Yeah. That's why black people is voting Republican, because the Republicans the only one trying to save the country, K-Mac. Living over here and taking money all the way somewhere else, it don't even make no sense. It don't even make no sense. Don't even make no sense. When they put these Haitians out, we need to grab all them jobs and all them opportunities and grow them jobs and them opportunities. Facts. Like here in Chicago, they closing grocery stores left and right in the black community. Hardly no grocery stores. You know why there ain't no grocery stores? Drug addiction. So they steal. They steal you blind. You can't afford to pay enough security to watch that stuff. And the people ain't got no money. They can barely buy food all across this country, white and black. White and black people in the United States cannot afford food. That is a fact. White and blacks across the United States don't have nowhere to sleep. White and blacks all across the United States are sleeping in cars and trucks. A lot of black women are driving big rigs out on the road driving, sleeping in their trucks, sleeping in their rigs. That's the only way they can survive. They ain't got to pay no rent, and they just drive and get their money. You say every tribe has delineated. They didn't have to really delineate because they was already born delineated. So that's the difference. They born delineated. But here go the thing. The African tribes ain't on nothing. You know why? Because they got 1 billion different tribes. So they losing. The Africans are losing. Because the Africans got 1 billion different tribes. They got 400, 500 tribes in Nigeria. So they losing. So the last thing we want to do is emulate them, because 500 tribes ain't delineating. It's ridiculous. Delineating is they all would be Nigerians. That would be delineating. Until the point they all are Africans. But being 1 billion different tribes, that's sililiating. That's deciliating. Because they being silly. Where you gonna go somewhere with 500 tribes in Nigeria? And it's like, I've been dealing with Pan-Africanism since 1978, and I'm telling Black Americans, Pan-Africanism, you can't help Africans at all. So we have to help ourselves. It's 1 billion Africans. There's 200 million Nigerians. There's only 50 million of us. What we look like trying to help 200 million Nigerians and we only 50 million. There's 4 times more Nigerians than us. And get to the point where we got to concentrate on ourselves. Pan-Africanism got us concentrating on other people, but ain't nobody concentrating on us. Show us one movement that include us. We always trying to do some African stuff. The Africans ain't trying to do nothing for us or trying to study nothing we got. They ain't got no African Americanism. Now, where that's at? As a matter of fact, when they come, they don't link in and make blacks grow. They come and compete against you. When whites come here, they become white and they make white Americans grow. When black immigrants come here, they stay some separate weirdos and make black Americans shrink. That's the difference between white immigrants and them loser black immigrants. White immigrants come here and become Americans. Black immigrants don't come here and become foundational, become black Americans. They don't be black Americans. They don't even respect the country. They just come here and still be Nigerian, still be Ghanaian. They don't even identify as Americans. Anybody that come here and still identify with their country didn't need to come here. When white people come here, they no longer identify with their country. Look how long white people been in America. You don't see them trying to go back to Germany. You know, they wife ain't even German. They don't even try to marry the same group. They just became white Americans. But if you look at the Caribbeans and the Africans and them, they never really be a part of nothing. They still be whatever the hell they was. How could you work with somebody like that? You can't work with Jamaicans because they gonna always be Jamaica. And if you're always gonna be Jamaica, stay your ass in Jamaica. If you a Nigerian, stay in Nigeria. No, you cannot have an American citizenship. You was a Nigerian. I'm minding my own business, mind yours. Go raise your kids to do something. I don't owe you nothing. I don't know you. I don't know you nothing. What I owe you? I don't know you nothing. I'm a grown man doing what I want to do. I'm a grown man. I'm talking about friend. I don't even know you. How we friends? I don't know you. I'm way in Chicago. I ain't gonna never see you a day in my life. I'm not spreading nothing. I'm teaching the facts. You the one spreading your religion and pushing your religion around the world, if anybody. How somebody spreading their belief system gonna tell somebody else don't spread nothing? Everywhere you go, all you do is spread your religion. Bro, stop talking to me. I'm not your friend. I don't even know you. What do you mean, friend? I mean, you don't think the same. I don't got no friends in no chat. I don't know you. What do you mean, friend? I don't know you. I know the Africans don't get treated right by these people in North Africa. Like I don't think you know what I know. Yeah, I'm sure you don't know what I know because I know what's going on with black Africans in Libya and all of that. I know how y'all treat black people in North Africa. I know what's going on. You don't think I know what's going on? Talk about friend. I ain't your friend. I don't even know you. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. It's the internet. That could be you could be anybody typing. So what you know what I'm saying? I'm just supposed to listen to anybody on the internet tell me something? Really? I'm sure if I'm telling black people to stand on their own and you ain't black, you probably don't like it. You probably don't like it. But I'm not really interested in converting Africans to Africans. I'm only interested in foundational black Americans here in America, our protection, our safety, our military prowess, that we can protect ourselves, that we can feed ourselves, that we can build our own self, that we can get our women to go get their hair done by our women, and stop going and getting their hair done by people that don't like us. Stop going spending money with people that don't like us. That's over. What we're gonna be doing is trying to raise money so these sisters can open up beauty shops and stuff and nail salons. And you go to the sister get your nails done. We got some sisters out here that could be getting all that money. Why we ain't helping the black woman get filthy rich doing nails? Like what's wrong with us? If you go in there and say her business ain't all the way professional, then we have a meeting and go in there and help her out, help her become more professional, and be patient. Because you'll go in there with anybody else that'll treat you stank or whatever, and you keep going. But as soon as you have one little problem with the black person, now you want to act all crazy. But you accept all kind of little problems for everybody else. You blow it off. You blow it off. Black people, you go do business with other people, and this ain't if the fries cold, you'll be like, last time my fries was cold, and you'll go right back. You come to a black business, the fries cold. What's wrong with these fries? I ain't coming here no more. That's how we do. We can't make no mistake. It's bigger than life. Other people can make all kind of mistakes. You keep going. You don't get them no. You don't give your own people no pass. All that got to change. I just want y'all to know Pan Africans is phony. Okay, this coming from Big Pharaoh. Pan Africans. All these brothers out here with Pan Africa. If you watch them, you see they fraudulent. They ain't never going to know Africa. I watched Sarah Seti talk about Africa for years. He's never going to Africa. Ever. He's never going to Africa. Never. That's just money making talk. Started with lectures and it went to YouTube. That man ain't never going to Africa. He just running his mouth. He could be spinning his big mouth trying to help black Americans. No, that's too decent. Trying to talk crazy to me. Anybody that's a bootleg Pan African, and you don't want no smoke with me, I'm really do what I do. You bootleg. Boy, you don't even want this over here. I'm just telling you. Pharaoh don't do no fake nothing. As soon as I see something ain't popping, I'm throwing it in the garbage. When I seen Pan African, what Nism wasn't popping, I threw it in the garbage. I don't just keep riding with something once I see it's fraudulent. You know, y'all, your pride, you got to throw your pride in the garbage. If you're doing something and you see that ain't it, don't have no problem with throwing it in the garbage and do something that's more honorable. Be like, I was doing this, but I ain't with this no more. This in the garbage, I'm with this. They trying to tell you got to stick with something. That's what they try to teach our people. Like, once you do this, you got to stick with it, even though you start seeing flaws. Man, with this flaw, throw it in the garbage. I'm not going to come over here and teach y'all no old flawed stuff that I was learning. A lot of that stuff was trash. Pan-Africanism was total trash. I never really bought into it, but I was around it. And when I've observed it, I'm saying this is trash. Pan-Africanism is trash. I really couldn't get into it like that. I got kids. What the hell I'm going to do with my kids with Pan-Africanism? Ask some of these Pan-African how many kids they got. They're going to take their babies to Africa? When? How long you going to stay talking that? Show us your woman. Does she look African? Or does she look like a European? How she got her hair? How's she functioning? Or is it just make-believe? I'm just saying. Like, what we going to do? We're going to wait till it's a total cashless society and all that? Like, what are we going to do as foundational Black Americans or heritage Black Americans, or whatever you want to, American descendants of slavery? What are we going to do? We're going to wait till the whole system fall on our head? We just too dependent right now. We got to become independent. Black brothers got to unite. Stop beefing. Stop beefing. When a brother on his page talking, leave him alone. Don't go over on his page. You ain't going to see me come on your page bothering you. I don't care what you're saying. Your YouTube, that's your house. I'm not going to come in your house tell you, bro, you shouldn't say this, bro. You're a grown-ass man. Like, we got to get some law and order around here. I just wanted to get that off my chest. You know what I'm saying? You doggone right. Pan-Africanism is trash. We ain't got time. We don't give a damn. All these Africans running over here, what we look like talking about Africa, and Africans trying to get over here. Africans running this way. And the whole top of Africa ain't even Africans. Make it make some sense. Make it make some sense. You're talking all this Black African stuff, and the whole North Africa ain't even Black. The regions in Africa that are mostly non-Black are North Africa. Okay? Facts. Make it make some sense. Y'all stay positive, you know what I mean? Stay positive. Stay on your square. And don't let nobody play you crazy, you know what I'm saying? We ain't playing no games. You know, we're going to rise up above this. We ain't let nobody take us down. That's a fact. Victory.
My poll tax certificate from 1960 when we had to pay $2 or $3 to vote, and we only made $2 or $3. So you had to choose between eating or voting. That was the suppression back in the 60s. If you missed 1 year, they doubled it up on you the next year. I didn't have to pay because I was a veteran. So this is my exemption certificate, but I had to show it. So when they say you don't have to show ID, we've been showing ID since we started voting.